All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're not just flipping through a business plan. We are going to break down what makes a business a truly solid, bankable investment. We're here to show you exactly how a sharp operator can take a service like towing and turn it into a powerhouse that makes perfect sense for financing. So, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Look, almost anyone can go out and buy a tow truck. But to build a profitable, scalable business that a bank would actually be excited to partner with, well, that takes a special mix of the right person, the right market, and a plan that's been thought through from every angle. And that's exactly what we're going to walk through today. So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about the opportunity and the man behind the wheel. Then, we'll prove the demand is there. After that, we'll show you the nuts and bolts of the operation, how we'll make money. And finally, we'll get to the numbers that make it all undeniable. Let's dive in.
You know, any solid investment starts with the person running the show. We're not just pitching a generic towing service here. We're pitching a community-first venture led by a local guy who is respected and knows this area like the back of his hand.
So let me introduce you to Peter Cooper, but honestly, nobody calls him that. To everyone in town, he's just Coops, and his reputation, that's one of this business's biggest assets. He spent years building trust, and in a business where people call you on their worst day, that trust is everything. So unlike all those abandoned cars that look like chickens fleeing the coop, Coops is here to stay, and his customers know it.
Now, having a great operator like Coops is half the battle, but you also need a market that's ready and waiting. So let's dig into the hard data. This isn't wishful thinking. This is a strategic move into a market with a clear, significant need.
Just take a look at the sheer potential here. The total market is a massive 5 million service requests. Being realistic, the market we can actually serve is around 3 million. But our starting point, our initial focus, is a very doable 1 million requests, targeting high-value commercial and law enforcement contracts. This shows there's not just a market, but a huge runway for future growth.
Okay, so who's already out there? This is where it gets really interesting. We're not trying to be the biggest fish in the pond, we're aiming to be the smartest. You've got the big national brands, sure, but they're often slow, expensive, and they frankly do a poor job serving the rural parts of our community. That's our opening. Coop's business will be fast, personal, and always there, hitting them right where they're weakest.
So what really sets this business apart? It's all about carving out a premium service niche. Being available 24/7 isn't just a slogan, it's a promise. Getting there fast is how you build a 5-star reputation. And having the expertise to handle high-end vehicles, that's a high-margin service the big guys just can't compete on. This whole business is built to fill a gap everyone else is ignoring.
An idea is one thing, a market is another, but a lender? You want to see a plan for execution, right? You want to know this thing is going to run like a well-oiled machine. This section is all about minimizing risk and maximizing efficiency.
And it's not complicated. It boils down to a super clear 4-step process that's repeatable day in and day out. A call comes in, it gets dispatched intelligently. The vehicle is recovered safely, using the right procedures. The trucks are meticulously maintained to avoid downtime. And everything is done by the book, period. It's a system built for success.
A picture like this really says it all, doesn't it? This isn't just about towing cars, it's about asset management. Every truck in the fleet, every vehicle in the storage lot, it's all managed for peak efficiency. Doing this right keeps costs down and pushes profitability up. It's that simple.
Let's talk about something that's absolutely non-negotiable in this industry: safety. This plan has safety baked into its DNA. We're talking about intensive driver training, daily vehicle inspections, and zero tolerance for cutting corners. For you, as a lender, that means lower liability, better insurance rates, and a stable, predictable business you can count on.
Okay, so we've got the operator, the market, and a tight operational plan. Now, let's follow the money. A resilient business can't put all its eggs in one basket. This plan is designed with multiple income streams from day one.
This isn't a one-trick pony. We're looking at a whole suite of services right from the start. We can handle anything from a simple roadside lockout for a family car to a heavy-duty tow for a commercial truck. Plus, we'll generate steady income from vehicle storage and scheduled transports. This diversity makes the business strong and adaptable.
But here's the real kicker, the high-margin stuff. Anybody can tow a sedan, but what about a vintage Porsche, a low-riding Lamborghini, or a custom motorcycle? That takes special equipment and a trusted touch.
This is where we can charge a premium and tap into a market that values quality and expertise over a cheap price.
And this quote right here, it perfectly sums up the entire philosophy. Coop's focus on community and great service isn't just a feel-good story. It's a rock-solid business strategy. Happy customers lead to amazing online reviews and word-of-mouth referrals, which is the most powerful and cheapest form of marketing there is.
All right, this is the moment we've been building towards. We've shown you the person, the market, and the plan. Now let's look at the numbers that prove this isn't just a good idea. It's a fantastic investment.
Just look at this growth curve. I mean, these numbers speak for themselves. And they're not pulled out of thin air. They're grounded in the market data and operational plan we just covered. We're on track to nearly double revenue in year 2, and then do it again in year 3. That is an explosive, yet totally achievable trajectory.
I just want to pause on this number for a second. Over $1.4 million in revenue by the 3rd year. That shows you the incredible scaling potential when you put the right plan into action in the right market.
Now, any good business plan has to be honest and realistic. You'll see here in year 1, there's a net loss, and that's expected. That's the investment in the equipment to get this thing off the ground. But look at the turnaround. We hit break even by October of year 2, and from there, profitability just takes off, soaring to almost $900,000 in net income by year 3. That's a powerful return.
So, that brings us to why we're here today. The financing we're seeking isn't just a random number. Every single dollar is earmarked for specific revenue-generating assets, the trucks, the equipment, and the initial operating costs needed to execute this plan flawlessly. So when you put it all together, you've got the right guy, in the right market, with the right plan, and the numbers to back it up. This isn't a gamble. It's a calculated investment in growth. So really, the only question left isn't if this business will be a success, but how fast it's going to grow. We're inviting you to be a part of that growth story.